Hello, welcome back. This is a continuation of our previous video where we showed you how to deploy our agent using our APM Command Center. If you guys recall, uh, we used our APM Command Center to create the packages. Uh, we created two packages, selected the various agent to monitor the performance of our server as well as the performance of our Tomcat application. We deployed them we copied them to our server. Here's the infrastructure agent that we deployed, and this is the Wiley for the Tomcat. And we had those two guys, if we go to the agents, communicating, we deployed them, they showed up. And and today what I want to show you then is actually how to, now that we have our uh, agents deployed through APM Command Center, how do we actually create a custom bundle, right? So let's say, let me show you. Let's say you have a PVD that you want to deploy. And so let me open this up, ticket exchange, and there's my PVD. Take a look at our PVD. So this is the PVD that you either create or had this from before, and we want to deploy this through our APM Command Center. Okay, so basically this is just um, instrumenting all the classes that are in this package and JTAG Exchange persistent package. We're putting a blame point tracer and also tracking any errors that any of those messages may throw. Right? So we're monitoring classes for the persistent package, service package, and presentation package. And we're turning the flag on, right? So we have the opportunity to turn the flag on and off in order to enable or disable, in this case, the instrumentation of presentation. All right, so so this is what we want to do. So how do we do this? So let's go back to APM Command Center. And what I want to do is let's take a look at bundles help. It's going to tell me what, it defines what a bundle is, dynamic bundles and static bundles. We talked about this. Some of them I can just push and they're hard deployed. They automatically take effect. Some others required my application server to get restarted, like we did when we deployed Leak Hunter, right? And so I also have, online documentation that if I clicked, it's going to show me how to add a custom bundle, right? And so if I follow this instruction, it tells me that, the easiest way is to actually download this sample bundle and edit the files, right, that I need to edit. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and download this. All right, so we'll download it. Let's download it, and now let's take a look at it. So I'm in my bundles directory. All I have is that ticker exchange PVD, which one I deployed. So let's see if one file, the new, there's the bundle, the example bundle I downloaded. Let's extract this and let's see what it looks like. So we'll do tar, CF, one. All right. So here's so outside of my ticket exchange PVD, which I had before, it's giving me a bundle property, directives, lib, and metadata. Let's take a look at this. Let's use Sublime. Let's open this directory. All right, so it gives me a bundle property. This is very simple. It says my bundle.enable. If I take a look at directives, it's got an empty PVD, okay, a placeholder. There's nothing on the lib, and metadata, I have three. I have installation instructions, description, and bundles.json. All right, let's start using this. So what I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and go to my, let me recreate that. I'm going to go to my ticket exchange PVD. where I only have the PVD that I want to deploy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to replicate that data structure that it wants me to have. So I'm going to make there directive, directives, make their lab, make their uh, metadata. What's the last one? Good. Oops. Make their metadata. All right. So I have those three directors in there. Now, oh, I'm missing, and I need this high-level bundle of property that I can copy from the example one. So I'll say copy bundle of property into here. Okay. Now, if I go to the metadata, let's just copy these three from the example, and then we'll edit them. So we'll say copy metadata. Let's copy all of them into metadata. All of them. Okay. And that should be good enough because we said with the directive we have our PVD, there's nothing on the left, metadata, and the bundles appropriate. Okay, let's close this. So now let's CD into our, where am I? Oh, I'm already in ticket exchange PVD. Okay, this is what I want to be. All I have to do is I got to move my jet ticket exchange PVD into my directives directory. All right, and now if I take a look at this, this is the format uh, that the example gave me. So I have a high-level bundle properties. I have a directives, and now in here I have my own PVD, Jet Ticket Exchange PVD. Explain already what it does. And what we need to do is now change the metadata, right? So we'll start with the description. Let me show you what the description looks like. This is what a description will look like. Agent extension, right? Deployed ACCC. So let's do our own description. Let's say this is a custom um, custom instrumentation for ticket exchange app. That's good enough. Oops, that's not what I want. I want app. All right, so save this. Instruction. um, we don't really have any special instructions for this. There's nothing for us to do. I'm going to leave this the way it is so we can see what it looks like once it gets deployed. And bundle the gist. Yes, this is the one that we need to change. So again, if I make reference to my to the online documentation, here's the bundle.json file, and all explain to me. I'll go through every single field. Telling me, if it's mandatory and sort of what sort of thing that I need to do. In this case, it says that the name along with the version uniquely identify this bundle. Okay, so obviously I need to have those in there. The display name, the version, talks about the facets and so on and so forth, dependencies, what they are. So let's go into them again. You can read in here. And they explain, what those are, what you need to fill in them. I'll go ahead and under name, so let's call it, we're going to say tick exchange custom bundle. That should be good enough. Added by, let's add Omaro. Author, it's going to be the same. Display name, okay, what is the display's name? Let's just say custom PVD for tick exchange app. The version. Now the version, again, we can take a look at what the version says in here. All packages specified an agent version that they are compatible with. Yeah, so we're compatible with, we can leave it, right? What version we're compatible? Yeah, we're compatible with version 10.7. That's fine. I think what we really care about is this compatibility that we'll get there in a minute. So for this, if we look at the definition of this, it says that costume bundle must be contained. The costume facet, and it appears in the custom section. We'll take a look at that where that shows up. We'll use custom. Dependencies, again, you can look up dependency. We depend on the Java agent itself. What servers, does this bundle enhances? Tomcat, WebSphere, sure, we can deploy in WebSphere. Let's say we can also deploy in WebLogic, right? Why not? WebLogic. We can deploy our application WebLogic, so I want this bundle to be available when I choose a WebLogic server. Nothing to exclude. Compatibility, yeah, Windows, and I also want Unix, because I can deploy it in Unix and Windows. And the agent version compatibility, right? So what version do is this PVD being supported, agent version wise, right? So this is a very standard, nothing to it, just a simple PVD. So it really goes back to version 7, 8, right? So I think anything above 10 and less than, you know, future-proof 999.999 version is good. We'll leave it as it is. This was provided for the example. Specification versions, if I take a look at that, um, specification version says define the signature of the bundle metadata. The property must be set to 2 for bundles to be defined as dynamic. And we certainly want our bundle to be dynamic, right? We don't want to restart the application when we deploy this. So we leave it at 2. The type is Java. It could be .NET or anything else. And dynamic equals to true. Okay, that looks good. So let's save this. Again, we just made very small changes. Added Unix, change our name, version. Uh, that's about it. Okay, so I think we have everything. So we have our PVD. We there's not there's no lib, and let me show you how you would use that. Let's go and download. Let's download a bundle that makes use of that. Let me see. We can use. Let's download struts. Yeah. Let's take a look at this bundle, how it was packaged. So I'll go ahead and here's the bundle URL. So I'll click on it. I'll download it. So it's downloaded. So let me go back to my directory. So let me go up one directory. I want to do it here. So let me remove directives, metadata. This is from the example um, bundle that we downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. So I only have my bundle, but what I want to do is, I think I just downloaded the struts. There it is. So let's extract and let's take a look at it. Let me close this as well. So we're going to extract this, XF, struts. Okay, let's take a look. Let's open up in Sublime. And so this is the bundle that struts came with. Notice there's no definition on bundles. So I'll take a look at the directives. They have a couple of directives, on the classes that they want to instrument. And in here, I want to highlight, excuse me, the fact that they're creating, in here, we're creating our own tracer. Okay, you can see that we identified the class, starts to tracing. This is the name of my class, dispatcher, and we also in this particular extension they're also creating a name formatter. So now in order to implement this, obviously they use the classes for the tracer, for the name formatter, and this is actually what has been jarred, packaged in a jar and put into the lib. So if you were to actually create your own, roll out your own tracer or name formatter, then you would, that code, those classes will go into the lib. In our case, right, if we go into our ticket exchange PVD, we're not defining any new tracers on name formatter. We're actually reusing an existing tracer, blame point tracer, so there's no need for us to provide a lib. Okay, just wanted to show, where you would, lib comes into play. All right, let's close this. And so what I want to do now, um, so let's package it and deploy it. So let's go into my ticket exchange, and then we'll do copy. So I'm going to go ahead and call it ticket exchange bundle.tar.gc, and I want all of it, and enter. All right, so here's my my bundle, right, that I just created, right, based on this. So this is the thing that I'm going to go ahead and import now. So I'll go back to my APM Command Center. I'll click on import. So I go into here, and there it is, ticket exchange bundle. Select it, open it. All right, so successfully imported. This is good. And it tells me select a package to edit, right, and include this new bundle. Yeah, I want to do that. I don't know if I got there on time. Okay, so if I select my ticket exchange monitoring package, here it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and edit it, right? This is the package that we have deployed uh, in our agent. So I'm going to, just like I did before, if you guys recall from the previous videos when we added Leak Hunter, here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look at the different bundles, and you see under costume section is my costume PVD for ticket exchange app, the one that we created. So I'm going to select it and add it. Now I can see that being added to my the selected bundles. I'm going to go next. All right, so there's nothing for me to customize on this bundle. Right? It's very simple. So okay, so done. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete this. So now it's telling me that I have successfully edited the package, and now I can select the agents. All right, so here's the agent, and I definitely want to go ahead and switch, apply my new packaging here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and switch. We notice that the package version is 5. So when we apply our new changes, we should see a package version upgrade to 6. Oh, okay. So now that, notice that our package version is 6, so it has been applied. Now if I go back in here, if I'll take a look at my metrics, let's see. I have the leak hunter from last time. So let me exercise the app. I'll put a few transactions through, cards, sign in. All right, should be good enough. There it is. Finally showed up. Um, it's Jet Ticket Exchange. Right, this is the one I just deployed. It just took a few, it takes about 15, 30 seconds for it to get picked up and everything. Um, but now these are monitoring the various packages that I wanted, the action, the persistence. I can open one up. Account being, I think we'll look at account. Let's say average response time, responses per interval. There it is. So now, as you can see, I'm starting to get instrumentation for my package, right? For my application classes. All right, so let's recap. So what we did then is just as before, we work with the package, right? So we imported a new bundle, a new extension. Then we went to our package, right? We actually edited our package and added our costume bundle that we created, and then we just simply applied that package against our agent. Notice that this package is dynamic. We made a dynamic package, so there was no need to restart the application. So, we waited about a minute or so, and then we started our instrumentation for the PBDs that we created started to show up um, on our APM. All right. That's all I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Adding bundles is, custom bundles is really simple. Uh, you can always download one of our own bundles to see how that was packaged, so you can see the different options that they use, and again, or leverage, as well as leverage our online documentation to see how new bundles are created. Okay, hopefully that was helpful, and thank you for your time. Until next time, bye bye.